Hello, this is King's Ransom. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Dark Souls. So, when we last left off, we had just escaped from the Asylum, the tutorial area, and here we are, Firelink Shrine. So, it's a foreboding message right there, somebody wishing us luck. So this is one of the messages left by players, and another player in the game. And Dark Souls is very interesting how it handles multiplayer. You don't usually get the opportunity to directly interact with other players. There are certain ways that you can assist other players. You can kind of jump over into their game as a phantom and help them fight bosses, for example. And you can also be invaded by other players or invade other players, where you are actively fighting against each other. The other main way that you interact with other players is through these messages that you can leave. We don't have the ability to do those yet, but we can actually read them. So, alright. Back to Firelink Shrine. Here we are. We have 2,368 souls. You can see those in the bottom right corner. Souls are interesting. They are a currency used both as experience, like for leveling up your characters, and they're also used as the currency for buying or upgrading weapons, armor, items, things like that from shopkeepers or from blacksmiths later in the game. So, very interesting that this single currency is used for so many different things. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to level up. So, here we are at a bonfire. I'm going to level up. We are level 2 right now. You can see of our 2,300 souls, it will take 690 souls to level up once, so that number goes up as you gain more levels. So here's all the different stats. I'm going to give a brief rundown of what these different stats do. Very, very brief. So vitality is going to be health, and you can see there's a explanation that we can burn through for all these. Vitality is going to be health, so increasing this will cause our health to jump. Attunement controls the number of slots we have available for spells. So over on the far right, you can see attunement slots 1 out of 1. And it's not a strict 1-to-1 increase. Putting a point into it now will bump it up to 2 slots, but putting a second point in there, going up to 13 attunement, does not give us another slot. We'd have to go up to 14 before we get a third available slot. Endurance is going to control your equipment load, so how much weight you can carry, and then also increases your green stamina bar. Strength is going to be used for physical attacks and physical defense. Certain weapons will scale and do more damage as your strength increases. The counterpart to that is kind of considered to be dexterity. Dexterity will also increase some of your physical defense and will increase the amount of damage that you can do with certain dexterity-based weapons like daggers or curved swords, katanas, that sort of thing. Resistance is your ability to resist magic and fire and poison, those sorts of things. So that's just kind of overall defense. Intelligence will increase the amount of damage you do with certain offensive spells like sorceries, which we're not really going to use too much of here. Excuse me. And intelligence will also cause, magic weapons or weapons that have been enchanted to do more damage. Faith is going to be a very, very important stat for us. It increases the effectiveness of miracles, and it will also increase the amount of damage done by faith-based weapons, mystic divine weapons or occult weapons, which we're going to be relying on later in the game. So, and any stat, every time you level up, anytime you increase any stats to level up, it will increase all of your defense. You can see all of those are being increased. That happens every time you level up. You get a small increase in your defense. So no matter what happens, we're going to get a slightly better defense out of this. So I'm going to bump up our faith. I actually think 16 faith is good for now, and I would like a second attunement slot. We don't have any additional miracles yet. We only have the one heal spell that we can cast 5 times. But we will be obtaining some more miracles here soon, so I think it'd be good to be prepared for that. And then we don't have enough souls to level up beyond level 5, so This looks pretty good for now. I'm going to go ahead and accept these changes here. And ta-da! We are now a level 5 character. So, here we are. I'm going to come over here and talk to this NPC a little bit.
What do we have here? You must be a new arrival.
Why, yes, we are a new arrival.
Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation.
Yeah,
here.
Fate of the Undead was a story that the knight we encountered in the asylum, the one who gave us the estus flask, he was talking about that.
Well, since you're here...
Sounds like he's not the only one.
There are actually 2 bells of awakening.
2
One
bells
is
of
up above
awakening.
in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town.
Interesting.
Both, and something happened. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came.
It's true. Not much to go
to
on,
this accursed land,
but it will not stop us. Alright, we're going to explore this area a little bit. So, these white flamey bits are going to be items we can pick up. So, get some humanity. Ah! A bloodstain. So these bloodstains, you can touch bloodstains and you can see a little ghost appear. So there's that ghost running around up there, which promptly fell off the cliff to its death. So bloodstains are left whenever a player dies. So if I were to run and jump off a cliff, it would leave behind a bloodstain that other players would be able to see. And I might actually do that just as a demonstration. You know, why not? I'm going to be dying a lot throughout this Let's Play, I'm sure, so we're just going to go ahead and get that one out of the way. So, this leads to some interesting effects. You can kind of get a bit of a guideline as to how other players die. So you can see if there's a lot of blood stains around you, you're probably in a very dangerous area. So, we died. We lost our souls, so any souls that you have on you when you die will be lost. However, it's not going to be permanent, so you can see... right here, there's this glowy green bit above our bloodstain. So any other player who's playing the game right now in Firelink Shrine would be able to see this bloodstain. If they came over here and touch it, it would show them that we just run and jump off the cliff like an idiot. So for us, we can come over here and we can recover our lost power. So we pick it up and we gain back the 247 souls that we had dropped previously. So a very interesting mechanic because you can recover things from dying. Dying can cause problems. So if we had died before picking up those 247 souls, they would be lost forever. Luckily, that didn't happen to us. Alright, so I'm going to explore this area a little bit more. See if there's any more items that we can pick up around here. Spoilers, there are. I just need to find them. Ah, here's something. Firebomb! So, that would be an item, consumable item, that we can see over on the left now, firebombs, and I could throw those, they would do some fire damage. They are single-use items, I have 6 of them. What's this? Back button to gesture. Here's somebody.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland.
Petrus of
Have you business
Thoroland.
with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Doesn't he seem friendly?
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance. But I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will.
Ah, maybe he is actually
Take
friendly.
this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Ah, a copper coin.
Oh my. You again. Oh, I know.
I'm just going to go ahead and keep talking to this
How
guy.
about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So
Okay.
what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Excellent. Yes, that would please me
Very
greatly.
well. Then first, a covenant with the gods. Now,
Covenant.
let me share
Interesting.
my miracles. Only
So-
their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Good thing I have put a fair bit more points into faith. Alright, so we could learn to gesture. We could learn how to shrug. Covenants are largely important for, you know, their primary purpose is for PvP, generally, across the different covenants. Covenants are different factions throughout the game that you can join, and you'll get some benefits. So this guy, if you join his covenant, which we were apparently already a part of, since we started as a cleric, then now, as a member of his covenant, he will sell us some spells. So if we could afford spells with souls, we have not very many souls, so we can't really afford anything at all. Okay? But here we would be able to purchase some of these different miracles. So Great Heal Excerpt, very useful, a very powerful heal that recovers a lot of health, although it's a single-use item. Homeward will teleport you back to the most recent bonfire that you used, and it does so, you know, without you dying, without you losing any of your souls. Very, very handy for traveling around quickly. Force will knock things away. Seek Guidance will cause more of those orange messages to appear on the ground. Heal, we already have that. Know that it recovers a little bit of health. And then here's a couple of different talismans, which we don't really need a new talisman right now. We already have one. So, good thing, because we can't actually buy any of those. But we can keep all that in mind in case we do want to buy some more miracles from him in the future. Alright. Just gonna explore around here a little more, see what else we got. Let's see. Yep, here's another item. Soul of a Lost Undead. So that's interesting. That is another one-time use item. Oops. So if we go here and look at our items, we can see Soul of a Lost Undead. Now we could use this, and it would convert from being an item in our inventory to giving us some souls. And I believe this one will give us, you know, 100 or 200 souls that we can actually use. Good to hold on to because we don't lose the items in our inventory when we die. So, you know, no real reason to use that unless you're using it for some immediate benefit. You know, you need those souls in order to level up, something like that. This looks dangerous, so I'm gonna go for it. Again, exploration is a very, very big part of this game. It'll get us some cool things like a Morning Star and another talisman. Let's see what else we got here. Cracked red eye orbs and one more chest. Homeward Bone. Homeward Bone, very, very important item. That will act like the Homeward spell that I was talking about earlier and teleport us back to a bonfire that we've previously used. So, let's see. Cracked Red Eye Orb will let us invade some other player's world and attack them. A bit of PvP. Not too keen to use that right away. Humanity, we will talk about humanity later. Copper Coin is essentially useless. So, that's exciting that we got one of those. Morning Star. So, if we compare the weapons, you can see Morning Star does a little bit less damage. That's why it's in red there. You can see, so here with the mace, the item that we have from the Asylum, you can see a param bonus on the left down towards the bottom, the letter B. That means that it has kind of a B rank scaling with your strength. So more strength will give you much more damage out of this. As opposed to the Morning Star, which only has a C rank scaling, which means that it will scale much less. I'm not going to be focusing on strength throughout the game, so that doesn't really matter to me. I am going to be more interested in weapons that scale with Faith, which we'll encounter much later in the game. You can also see at the bottom left there's an auxiliary effect, so the Morning Star with its spikes will cause enemies to bleed, take some extra damage from that. Very handy, but I think we're going to stick with the mace that we have here. And we have one last treasure chest to open and check out. Lloyd's Talisman. Now this will prevent people from healing your opponents in PvP. Again, not something that we're going to be using right away. I'm going to slide down here, and I am going to run like heck and get away from that skeleton that just popped up. These guys are very, very, very dangerous early in the game. Ooh. Yep. So you can see that that skeleton did a ton of damage to me and caused that little purple bar to appear in the screen there. Oh, whoops. Did not mean to do that. My estus flask, because I need to heal. That purple bar that you saw was from the skeleton's weapon causing me to bleed a little bit. So it was doing some bleed, kind of some bleed damage to me. If that bar had filled up, I would have lost a very, very significant amount of health and bled out. These skeletons are tenacious, which I am not really very happy about. Oh boy. Oh, this is going to be a problem, because we have no way of killing skeletons right now. Hopefully. Yeah, I think they're backing off. Alright, we're not really going to deal with those guys for now. I'm going to come over here and rest at the bonfire, restore those estus flasks, get my health back. As you can see, this game is very, very, very dangerous if you're not careful. So, alright, we have a few more areas to explore and check out. Now, if we go up above, you can see there's that bridge up there. That's kind of the next logical area to go to kind of progress the game. Like, that's kind of the intended path that people will follow. For us, however, we're going to progress this way. Let's see what's down here. Alright. Down underneath Firelink Shrine, and here we have a very cool looking elevator. Alright. We're now in the ruins of New Londo. There's going to be some more items for us to pick up down here. More souls, that's always good. Those are always good to have. More of these hollows. Which are pretty weak. Also, they don't look terribly interested in combat. I say as that one decides to attack me. There you can see some of the ruins back there, which are flooded. Very cool. Ah, bloodstain. Here we go. We can watch somebody run off that direction. I'm not going to follow and see what killed them. And here, talk. So we can talk to the guy in there. I'm not going to do so, but that would be another shopkeeper, and that character is also a blacksmith. He can upgrade some of your weapons, turn them into magical weapons. You have to get him a certain item that'll let him do that, but pretty handy for sorcerers, people that want to be able to use offensive magic or enchanted weapons. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and kill out some of these guys. They're pretty easy souls, and while 20 souls per kill is not terribly significant, this early in the game, 20 extra souls can still, very much help us out on our path to leveling up. So, later on in the game, not going to be so worth it. Now, yeah, I think probably worth it. Some of these guys out, I could probably kill them faster with two hands now that they're all dead. Yeah, just got my weapon. estus, that would be a dexterity-based weapon. Now, we could progress. Here, let's kill these last couple of guys here. Let's see what's in here in this jar. Corpse. It's exciting. Ooh, with an item. Transient curses. Alright. So, yeah, I'm going to do this. This is a very, very dangerous area of the game. It's a place that we're going to have to visit much, much later. Be wary of strange creature. Yes, there are very strange creatures here. There are going to be ghosts up here that we're going to encounter. And ghosts are not... Yeah, there's one right there. They can hurt us, but we have no way of doing any damage to them. So, very, very bad for us to be here right now. But there is a certain... Ooh, there we go. Taking a little bit of damage. There's an item over here that I would love to get. This is going to be kind of a suicide run because, yeah, there's more ghosts there. So I'm going to get this, a Firekeeper soul. Then I'm just going to let myself die, and I'm going to sacrifice those 500 souls that we picked up. Not going to be worth it coming back here trying to get those. That Firekeeper soul is a much, much more valuable item, in my opinion. So, back up to the bonfire where we started. Now, if we come down here, you may have noticed earlier there's a little prison, some bars. There's a person inside, actually. No response. She cannot speak. So this is the keeper of the fire. So certain bonfires in the game have keepers. And if you remember, we just picked up a Firekeeper soul. So we can actually use that soul to reinforce our estus flask. So now it is estus flask +1. Estus flask +1. That means that it will heal more health than it would normally. So we got that. I'm going to go ahead and show what's up here. There's one more item that I would like to pick up. We got some more of these hollows that we can fight, recoup some of our losses after that death. This guy is nimble. Yep, and there's fire, so that one up there is throwing fire bombs at us. Probably gonna have to deal with him before we can move forward. Ooh, and he has a friend, too. Alright. Take out those two. There's one more up top. You can see the ghost of another player, so there's someone else fighting those guys up there. Actually, yeah, we'll take care of this guy real quick. Ooh, that was dangerous. Luckily, these guys don't do a ton of damage. They can very easily kill you, though, if you're not paying much attention. And here's an item. Hollow Warrior Waistcloth. Don't really care about that right now. Come down here and pick this up. Soul of a Lost Undead. Not bad. Something in here is making a noise. Let's check it out and see what we got in here. Ah! Undead rat. Because what video game wouldn't have you fighting rats right near the beginning? And one more Soul of a Lost Undead. I'm not going to run down there. I'm going to come back down here to the bridge. There was one more enemy down below I saw. Yep, right there. He looks like he's kind of guarding an item. Soul of the Lost Undead. And then there's a bridge out there. So we're going to actually see if we can jump over here without dying. Perfect. And we'll work our way along the edge. Really don't want to fall off here. Bring a sacrifice. There we go. So that's some of the item collection and a little bit of exploration around Firelink Shrine. With that, I'm going to come back down here and heal again. And then in the next video, I think we're going to start working our way out of here and progressing. And I'm actually not going to go, you know, the kind of the obvious route up there. I'm going to go back down into the New Londo ruins. There's a door we can open with our master key that we picked to start the game with. It'll lead us to some more interesting stuff, kind of show things off in a slightly different order. So, thank you for joining me. This has been King's Ransom, playing Dark Souls. And we'll see you next time.